hello, hello, my beautiful family of light. Come on, baby. Today's quote, I would like to start off with this. When I say yes to what comes my way, I am able to turn around my day. Now, when I read this quote, I thought, what does this mean to me? And how can it help others to understand? We understand that this quote means to live in your now, to live in your present moment of now without fear. To understand that most of us believe that our now is created by what we believe that our past or our present was, or future. I meant to say, what we believe our future could be. But the reality is, these things only exist in our now because we create them in our now through our mind and through our thought. Nothing can exist in the now moment unless you bring it into thought. You are the creator of your reality. Live your life in the now without the judgment of fear of what you think could happen. Live in the present. I will come from a little quote from this book that I'm reading from Eckhart Tolle, The Awakening to Your Purpose of Your Life. Awakening to Your Life Purpose. Sorry. So I'm going to just go this in this generalist way that I can. I won't say the whole story, but I'll go in the most general way that I can. There was a very high priest monk in a small town in a city in Japan. And he was revered by everyone in the city. But his neighbor girl accused him of being the father of her baby. And so the parents came to him and accused him. And when they came to him and made all these accusations at him, all he said is that so? And so when the baby was born, they gave him the baby and made him raise the baby. A couple years later, the daughter finally told the truth. And the truth was that the monk was not the father. And everyone in the village after this stopped going to him. And it ruined him and he became alone. And so, the parents returned to the monk. And they returned to the monk and they apologized profusely that they were wrong and they had made a mistake. And all the monk said, once again, was, "Is that so?" Now we see, by understanding this story, that we choose how we react in our present now. We choose every situation. For when we learn to understand that everything happens for a purpose and do not see things as good or bad, but necessary for the evolution of consciousness, then we see that it is as simple as, is that so? For there should be no reaction. In any situation, we must understand that it is bringing us to our next now moment. Trust who you are, because nobody can be who you are. The only one who can ever be who you are is you. I see so many times in these pages or in spiritual practice that so many people look for others to tell them who they are. But that is not the case, for you will always know your truth. You will always know what resonates with your being. I came into my spirituality about a year ago because of a DMT experience. I had an ego death that then therefore brought me into a new reality where I was hovering over the earth with my higher self, while a beam of light came and illuminated the entire planet. And as this was happening, this being, my higher self, communicated with me and continuously repeated, I had a great purpose here. to help others, but I needed to find who I was so that I could find my truth. Now, the reason I say this story is because after this, I still didn't understand that I was a being that had existed here for a very long time, and my consciousness came from another space in the universe, as in a Pleiadian and Arcturian starseed. But the reason I say this is because then, later on, somebody brought up the Pleiadians. Now, I had no idea what this was, but I knew in my heart, when I heard those words, that there was some truth to them. There was some understanding that I knew to be me, who I was. For you do not search for who you are in others. They may help you in understanding your being, but you must be the one to trust who you are and to love who you are and to be the great being of light that each of us is, to see our unity with one in the all. We must see the only thing preventing us from being ourselves is our inability to live consciously in the now moment, to see that everything happens to bring consciousness to a new state of being. So when you hear something and it resonates with you, this is another thing that I think is very important for others to know, especially when there are so many different spiritual teachers and books and practices. Like I stated before, you will always know in your being what is your truth and what resonates with who you are. You will always know that to be true. Even at first, if you don't even know what that is or understand it, there will be a light that ignites in your being that awakens you to that truth of who you are. For your being will always know who you are. For you are always who you are meant to be. You can never be anything than who you are, for you have always been and always will be who you are. For now is who you are. Is that not it? So if we understand that now is who we are, then we understand that now is all there is. And so we have existed as who we are always in the now. I think I might have gone a little all over the place today, but this morning when I was waking up after reading these things that I was reading, I had a lot of information coming in, and I just tried to put as many of the things that I thought were truly important for people to understand themselves today and to share the best message of light that I could. For we are still in the 1111 portal energy, and it is still a time to go inward and to practice our presence in the now. For that is how we learn to become aware of the now, is to be present in it. Hey, 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 ana, na, hey, ana. Hey, 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 ana, ya, no, ya, no, ya, no, na. Be who you are and trust that you will always know who you are.